Hi everybody, welcome to Monday, which is actually Kaikoura Cup Day, or the day before the Melbourne Cup, depending on how you like to punt. In fact, it's probably all three. Craig Thompson, it could also be called something else. It could be Welcome to Robert and John Dunn Day, because I think they will dominate the two, potentially three, feature races coming out of Kaikoura.
Yeah, good morning to you, Michael. One of my favourite tracks, as you can see in the background. It's always highlighted on our Big Fish, Little Fish Kaikoura when we're sitting here talking about racing in general. Yeah, he's got a great card and or great team in the card today, John and Robert, and I think they'll probably take out the two features. I'd be very surprised if they don't, Michael. I'd suggest bad manners would be the only reason they didn't.
Sunday Sun's got barrier 1 on the 10 metres in race 7. That's the feature trot, the South Bay Trotters Cup. There's a couple of pretty good horses in there. Habibi Inter's in there, and Tough Monarch has come across from New South Wales. But Craig, at his best, there's only one trotter in the country who I think, who's racing at the moment, because Oscar Bonavita's not, who can run with Sunday Sun, and that's Bolt for Brilliance, and he's not here.
You're right. And sectionally wise, that tells a story too, Michael. Coming off that run, what we saw last Friday night at Auckland, Bolt for Brilliance, he's just got sheer speed. Sunday Sun's got probably a little bit more tractability about him at the moment, because he's obviously been racing in the open class ranks for a lot longer, and he's a horse that obviously 2 miles is not going to worry him. Dominion Handicap. I like what they've done is kept them away from the mobiles. Quite easily could have gone to Ashburton last week, but they were back at the trials during the week, put him on a standing start off 40 metres. He stepped like an absolute toff. Not only did he stepped so quickly that he tagged on very quickly, got into the 1-1 on the back of Destiny Jones, and he just smashed her by 6 lengths during the week. So he is flying Sunday Sun. Initially, when I looked at the field, Michael, I thought, well, he should be able to step and get round him at some stage. Only probably I worry about is Kaikoura is such a tight track that it's not easy to get round quickly. But I think he just got to balance up, and even if he has to sit parked for the last lap, I think he'll have too much speed for him.
Yeah, he's been winning sitting parked. I think it was Bolton. I think Habibi Inter, by the way, spoke to Paul Nian this week. It's had a little bit of a joint issue, not the actual joint, just a bit of the fluid around the joint. So they've been a bit careful with him. Look, if he does turn up today, because we're recording this before the scratchings come out, I don't think he could be at his best. And Tough Yankee spoke to Ricky Olchin last week. He's suggesting they're going for a race because they need a race rather than here than the Cup Day trial. So I think he just wins Sunday Sun. And that leads us into the Cup, the Kaikoura Cup, which is race 8, Craig. And I absolutely can't find any reason under any circumstances to make a case against Classy Brigade. He's got barrier 4. I thought he'd step to the lead and he'd win.
Well, he will. I think he's clearly on everyone's top tip to win this race, Michael. Again, it's what price are you going to have to take about him? At this stage, we're recording this and we haven't got a market in front of us, so we can't give you a guide on that. But I think he'll be around 160 to 180. I think he'll be probably around about that price. He'll certainly be under $2. He's a realistic Cup chance, Michael. I mean, he's just an all-around warrior of a horse. He can win from back in the front, back in the field like he did last week. His manners are so good. If he drew off the front, and there's a big chance he will do in the Cup this year, that he'll be the first one away. So I think at 270, if we're looking at something outside the obvious 3, and that's what we're talking about in the media at the moment, copy that, Self-Assured and Spanker. At 270 a place in the fixed odds versus the 280 on the 2 favourites to win, I suggest it's not a bad place bet.
I backed him at $5 for placing the Cup last year. I thought it was like outstanding money, and he got the job done. And yeah, I think he'll win today, unless he underperforms. I can't see any pressure in the race. He'll just jump to the front and roll at 256 or 257. And
what does you see are the main dangers, Michael? I mean, if we can't take $1.60 and we're thinking he's going to be around that price, what are we looking at as a logical Quinella chance?
Around Kaikoura, whatever gets on his back, but the horses inside him, there's a couple of what you may collect who have been galloping away, so I'm really worried about where they're going to end up. Ashley Locas was only so-so last week. I wasn't really enamoured with him. I'm really interested to see how Triple Eight goes today, because Triple Eight's a very good horse, better horse than he's showing us this season. And I'm not sure where he's at. And unless he goes well today, I'm not sure he's going to turn up at the New Zealand Cup. They might go to the Junior Free-for-All as they did last year. We went second over the Sniper. So he's the horse who interests me the most out of the race, only because he might hold the key to whether on the cards, who's 16th in the Cup rankings, actually gets into the Cup. And he's in the race today too. So a lot of permutations here.
There is, and I think you'll get into the race working out who is your trailer behind Class Brigade, because I think whoever finds the front early will be handing. my school of thought it'll be either Ashley Locas or possibly the stablemate Eisenberg, who began so well the other day. So they are two both chances. Ashley Locas's run was pretty good. If you work in the sectionals last week, I mean, couldn't make ground on a 25 quarter. Probably didn't lose too much ground, and this field is certainly not as strong as Ashburton. So I think they were quite happy with the runs, hence why they're back here at Kaikoura on the back of Ashburton a week earlier.
Race 9 today has been a very successful race over the years, the Sales Series Sales Series Pace. Interesting horse I want to ask you about here for our viewers. Bad to the Bone. Barrier 1 here. I think if he steps and gets lead trail, he's super hard to beat. Spoke to Barry Purden last week and he said the horse is working well. I'm really happy. Do you think he'll step? Because he's going to be up against a situation he's never been in his life before, with caravans and cars and crowd and all that sort of stuff. It's going to be a bit different from the Pukekohe trials.
Very difficult, because I tell you what I've done is I've gone back and looked at specifically the horses that can step in this race. And he's had 2 standing starts in his life. And both of them were in 4 and 5 horse workout fields. And he stepped okay. I mean, but it's different on race day, especially at Kaikoura. I mean, they'll line up 9 across the front in that, with a lot of, obviously, crowd on inside and outside of the track. If he's a half a length slow in this race away from a stand, he could end up 3 back on the fence here. So I think the only draw he didn't want is the one that he's got, Michael. Do I think he can win the race? Absolutely. Post the draw, I thought he was probably the one to beat, but very concerned about where he's drawn now. If you're betting into him, it's short odds.
Okay, what do you like in the race if it's not going to be him?
Well, I think Belmont Mage is a very, very good horse. I mean, you take off his last start where he sat parked out. Prior to that, he beat Wild Excuse. Wild Excuse has gone on to win at Ashburton, has gone on to run 3rd in the Methven Cup behind Spankham and Self Assured. So if you're looking at horses that are racing at the top of their game, I think Belmont Mage certainly falls into that category. And I think it'd be a better odds than Bad to the Bone. I don't think he's a better horse, but he may not have to be if the other one doesn't step.
Anything you like in the support card outside of the big 3 on Kaikoura Cup Day?
Like Cranbourne in the last. We tipped it on Big Fish, Little Fish a fortnight ago, and it did the job nicely. Didn't step up a grade, Michael, because that race was penalty-free. So I think works out really nicely for it in the last. That's a pretty good field. But I thought Cranbourne, he's been flying at the moment, and I just thought he's a really good bet at Kaikoura in the last today.
I like Fabrizio earlier in the day. He's mad as a snake.
Can you trust him, Michael? Can you trust him?
Oh, no, I can't. But he's drawn the outside of the front line, and I'm actually surprised he's here. But I wouldn't be surprised if he wins this, because he's just better than these horses. He just didn't look happy right-handed at Alexandra Park. He just looked pissed off the entire time he's there. You know, it's like you go somewhere, you're not happy to be there. That's a heel. I think he'd be a lot better left-handed. He's just got class on these horses. I wouldn't be surprised if he turned up in the junior free-for-all on Cup Day. So win today. So it's a lot of fun. Enjoy Kaikoura Cup Day, everybody. Bet responsibly. Craig, before you go, busy time of the year, can you let us know what the website address is for those who are too busy to do their own picking on the harness horses?
Yeah, Michael, go to our website, walesharness.co.nz. Have a look at that for a 3-month special at the moment we've got going for the summer. And, yeah, we've had pretty good feedback on it at the moment, mate. So been going up about 6 months since we've started doing Big Fish, Little Fish back in May. So I've had a good response. So, yeah, thanks for your help during that period. You know what? It's only been the last 3 or 4 months. I just realised now that you have the Kaikoura thing for a background because it's Big Fish, Little Fish, and you're the whale. Absolutely. I just cottoned on to that today. Michael, where have you been? Honestly, who knew? Everybody have a good day on the punt at Kaikoura and enjoy Melbourne Cup Day.